Also, in that same meeting, President Trump declared his love for K cars.
I didn't know this.
Yeah.
He likes K cars?
I mean, he didn't say K cars specifically, but he was talking about those little Japanese cute cars. I want to get the quote right. He said he called them, quote, very small, really cute, and beautiful.
Everything's beautiful.
Tiny cars to be built in America. He recently went to Japan. So some people think that maybe that's why he saw those cars there and he was asked about them. And so at a fuel economy policy event, he suggested clearing regulatory barriers to let some of these small K vehicles into the United States. He mentioned that similar tiny vehicles should be built and sold in the U.S., and he directed the United States Department of Transportation to look into what can be done to remove the regulations that are keeping these vehicles from being sold here. So the K-truck community has been like going gangbusters, like so excited. But again, this is just him talking in the Oval Office to
who knows what's going to happen.
Doesn't mean anything as of right now.
Could you imagine if Japan could bring in K-trucks? You know how many they would sell at the prices they could make them at?
Yeah.
If they could get them through, like get waivers on safety and fuel economy stuff, they could bring all kinds of stuff from all over the world here, and then car companies that sell here would have to get with the freaking program and start making little affordable cars again instead of just all these stupid crossovers that cost way too much.
Same thing happened in the 80s.
Yeah.
The Japanese cars came in.
They came in, ate the American car companies' lunch.
And the American companies had to do better. So that is one thing the experts are pointing out, that like, yeah, even if like some of those regulatory like production hurdles can be overcome, these cars are not safe enough to be on American roads. So either you have to do some pretty expensive, I don't even know if you could make a K-truck pass any crash safety rating for our highways or anything.
Only if you put it in the bed of an F-150.
Yeah, exactly. But apparently they're looking into, Secretary of Transportation is looking into if there's ways they can find cutouts for vehicles like this. Which does beg the question, like, if motorcycles are allowed on our roads,
why not these?
Why not these?
That's the best argument I've heard. The most concise and clear argument I've heard.
Mm-hmm. Because we make exceptions for motorcycles because they're a different mode of transportation. But really, it wouldn't be hard to find a way to categorize these and say these have different crash test safety ratings than full-size vehicles.
Being required to pass a certain level of test, I don't understand. I was talking with a friend of ours today. She really wants to buy a safe car. Her son was just in a rollover accident in his Honda Civic from like 2010 or something. And thankfully, they're all fine. Her two kids that were in the car, they're fine. And now she wants to get them a very safe car. She's very worried about that. And we talked about safety ratings. We talked about how they're done. We talked about what they do to make sure that these vehicles are safe. And for a person like that, buying a really safe car, something like a Tesla or something else with a really high safety rating, that makes a lot of sense. And she should do that. But for someone who's going to ride a motorcycle who just doesn't care about safety, they don't have a kid that's going to be in the car, they don't have any concern whatsoever about whether or not they live through a crash, I say let them buy whatever the heck they want to buy.
They're assuming that risk.
Right.
Now, I do think they should be tested, and the crash test rating should be very transparent and well known. Mm-hmm. And if this is like essentially a rolling death trap, you should know that. You should be informed going into it.
Yeah, as far as consumer knowledge.
If you know that and you still choose to buy it, more power to you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Do it.
That's what I'm saying. People should be able to have that choice. If people go skydiving all the time.
If anything were to happen with this, it still would be a long ways off. Mm-hmm. Not something that's going to happen tomorrow, but promising to see. And the reception's been really positive. So hopefully the administration sees that there's just a huge gaping hole, a K-truck shaped hole.
And that'll also eat Slate's lunch.
Yeah, because
if Ford was already doing it, Slate would not survive.
That's the biggest criticism I see about the Slate truck and that really cheap Ford truck is, why is it electric? Well, making it electric makes it so much more expensive than it otherwise would be. But making an electric vehicle as a startup is a lot easier. There's fewer regulatory hurdles to get through than making an internal combustion one. So that's probably why.